Thank you for listening to the show on Really Big Something Channel. October 11th, 2017.
The Kuhner Report, presented by Kelly Financial Services.
I know nothing. I know absolutely I know nothing. Okay, my friends, one of the biggest scandals to ever rock Hollywood, and now it is exposing not just the limousine liberals in Hollywood, their utter hypocrisy, but it is now opening up the Democrats to a tsunami of accusations of the mother of all hypocrisies. Okay, my friends, this scandal is getting bigger now almost by the second. So, as you know, I touched on it a couple days ago. It's now everywhere. Harvey Weinstein, the disgraced former Hollywood mogul. He was one of the most powerful men in Hollywood. Through the Weinstein Company, bankrolled and supported numerous Hollywood stars, actors, actresses, has now been accused of multiple sexual assaults. In fact, 3 women have now come out and accused him of rape. He has been fired from his own company. He apparently now may be pulling a Roman Polanski, and he's now heading to Europe, leaving Hollywood, and maybe fleeing to Europe, claiming that he needs to go to rehab for so-called sex addiction. And so here is now what is taking place. The man who was the pillar of liberalism in Hollywood, the man who helped bankroll Hillary Clinton's campaign, every never Trump cause on the planet, every liberal cause or trendy cause in the United States, from going after the NRA, to supporting amnesty and open borders, to supporting Obama, Michelle Obama, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton. He was the money man in Hollywood, and for years the left groveled at his feet. Now you have many people in Hollywood pretending they knew nothing. Here you have a sexual predator, who that we know of settled with at least 8 women. Now numerous women are coming out saying he personally sexually assaulted them, including big-time stars like Gwyneth Paltrow, Angelina Jolie. The list runs, the list just goes on and on. The New Yorker published a piece by Ronan Farrow in which 3 more women come out and then say he raped them. They accuse him of rape. And yet NBC killed the story. Under pressure from Harvey Weinstein, because he's such a big donor to the Democrats, they decided to kill the story, and so Ronan Farrow had to go to the New Yorker, and they finally ran with the story, and now, of course, it's everywhere. The New York Times, you want to see how sleazy and hypocritical Hollywood is, how depraved they are. Listen to this story. So apparently in 2004, a reporter for the New York Times, she's no longer there, Sharon Waxman, was reporting that in Italy there was a Miramax division, that's Harvey Weinstein's company at the time, where they employed an Italian who had no connections to the movie or film industry whatsoever. And on the books, they were paying him $400,000 a year. So what was this Italian's job? To procure prostitutes, Russian call girls in particular, for good old Harvey. Whenever he went to Italy, I guess the Italian women weren't good enough for him. He had to go for the Russian call girls. And so she broke that story. She then found a woman in London who confirmed to her that she was assaulted by Harvey Weinstein. And so there was the piece of this story. And the New York Times got a call from Harvey Weinstein. They got a call from Matt Damon. They got a call from Russell Crowe telling them, spike the story, kill the story. What they ended up doing, they gutted the story, took out all of the damaging, incriminating information, and just made a bland culture piece and buried it somewhere in the paper. In other words, the media were complicit in enabling Harvey Weinstein. Hollywood was complicit in enabling Harvey Weinstein. Now, I want you to think about this. This is the same Harvey Weinstein, the same liberal Hollywood, who has gone on a crusade, a jihad against Trump over the so-called Billy Bush tape, the Access Hollywood tape, where he says, he likes to grab groupies by the you-know-where. Okay? The family jewels. Let's just call it that. Well, we're not talking about locker room talk. I'm not talking about, potentially grabbing him you-know-where. This guy literally was grabbing him you-know-where. In fact, he was grabbing him everywhere. There is now an explosive audio that has now come out. Listen to this one. This involves an Italian model. She was she's a former Miss Italy finalist. Her name is Ambra Battilana. And apparently she had met with Harvey Weinstein in his office in Manhattan in March 2015. She was then 22, hoping maybe to land a role in one of his movies. Well, she then complained to the police after the meeting, saying that Harvey walked up to her, grabbed her breasts, pawed at her breasts, and said, "Are those real?" And then tried to put his hand up her skirt. She then went to the police, filed an official complaint. Investigators from the NYPD Special Victims Division then equipped her with a hidden microphone. So they basically bugged her. And so the next day, she confronts Harvey Weinstein at a nearby, the Tribeca Grand Hotel. Listen now to this audio exchange, because he pretty much admits it. He couldn't keep his hands off of the former Miss Italia beauty contestant. Roll it, Brittany.
I'm telling you right now.
What do we have to do here?
Nothing. I'm going to take a shower. You sit there and have a drink. Water.
Don't drink.
Don't
Can
have a
I
glass of
stay
water.
on the bar?
No, you must come here now.
No.
Please.
No, I don't want to.
I'm not doing anything with you. Now
I
you're
know.
embarrassing me.
I'm sorry. I
No,
cannot.
come in
No,
here.
yesterday was a kind of aggressive for me.
I know.
I need to know a person to
I
be
won't
touched.
do a thing.
I don't
Do a thing, please. I swear I won't. Just sit with me. Don't embarrass me in the hotel. I'm here all the time.
I
Sit
know,
with me.
but I don't
promise.
want to.
Please sit there. Please. 1 minute.
No,
I
I
ask
can't.
you. Go to the bathroom.
Please, I don't want to do something I don't want
Go
to.
to the bathroom. Come here. Listen to me.
I want to go downstairs.
I'm not going to do anything. You'll never see me again after this. Okay? That's it. If you embarrass me in this hotel,
I'm not
stay.
embarrassing you. It's just that I don't feel comfortable.
I mean, don't have a fight with me in the
It's not
hall.
nice.
Please, I'm not going to do anything. I swear, my children. Please come in. On everything. I'm a famous guy.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable right
Please
now.
come in now. And 1 minute. And if you want to leave, when the guy comes with my
Why
jacket, you can
yesterday
go.
you touched my breast?
Oh, please, I'm sorry. Just come on. I'm used to that.
But
Come on.
are you used to that?
Yes, come in. Because
No, but I'm not used to
I
that.
won't.
Stop. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I mean, it's just because it's very sad and sickening, but either you laugh or you cry. You don't know what to do. So, I'm not used to that. He goes, well, I'm used to that. So he admits he sexually assaulted her. He admits it on tape, okay? He's in big trouble, by the way. So he admits it on tape, and he's like, well, I'm not used to that. Well, I am used to that. The man's an animal. The man is a classic sexual predator. And I'm telling you, he may never come back from Europe, because now he's facing possible criminal charges, possible rape charges, possible sexual assault charges. But to me, this is much bigger than Harvey Weinstein, okay? The man is a pig. There's no question about it. He's an absolute pig and a lowlife. And look, now you know why he and Hillary got along so well. Now you know why there's pictures of him and Hillary everywhere at fundraiser after fundraiser, because he really got along with Bubba. I mean, you can see that. He and Bill Clinton are cut from the same cloth. They're like two peas in the same pod. I mean, honestly, the only thing missing in this tape is Bubba chiming in, and saying, I'm used to that too. I mean, I can just, I feel your pain. I mean, that's the only thing missing is Bubba joining with Harvey. So it's obvious why the Clintons loved him. It's obvious why, Bubba and he were such close friends because basically they're both sexual predators. That's how they roll. But the bigger issue is this. Who has led the charge in Hollywood against Trump and the so-called Billy Bush tape? Meryl Streep, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, George Clooney, all of them. They're the ones who have been leading the charge. And yet, what have we now found out? Meryl Streep herself says, I never knew. All these decades, I never knew Harvey was groping and assaulting and raping women. I never knew. Ben Affleck, I never knew. Matt Damon, I never knew. Suddenly, George Clooney, that's not the Harvey Weinstein I know. Everybody in Hollywood knew that Harvey was Hollywood's Bill Clinton. That Harvey was an out-of-control sexual predator who assaulted women, grabbed women, groped women, raped women. And everybody turned a blind eye. You know why? Because he made them money. Because he made them famous. Because Harvey Weinstein was the power in Hollywood and he could make or break your career. Here, it's coming out now. He assaulted Gwyneth Paltrow. He assaulted Angelina Jolie. And in fact, apparently, according to one story, after he touched, grabbed, groped, felt up, whatever you want to call it, Angelina Jolie, I guess then she was still with Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt actually confronted Harvey Weinstein at one of these Hollywood soirees, yelling and screaming at Harvey, "Don't you ever touch my wife again." Everybody knew about it. Everybody. But their silence enabled him. And these are the same hypocritical never-Trumpers, the same hypocritical anti-Trumpers who were behind the March on Washington, who are there, forgive me, with their pea hats, who are the ones lecturing us how Trump is morally unfit to be president. Why? Look at how he treats women. Well, how does he treat women? Well, look at the Billy Bush tape. Well, hold on. He hasn't done anything. That's just locker room talk. And by the way, if you want to get technical, listen to the tape. He's not even talking about women. Listen to the tape. He's talking about groupies. You know, those that follow rock stars, celebrities. So he's telling Billy Bush, I can't believe these women. You can just touch them and they just don't care. In other words, yak, 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 yak. This guy was grabbing them, fondling them, assaulting them, raping them, destroying them. And they all turned a blind eye. In fact, they allowed him to campaign with them. They took his money. Hillary Clinton celebrated him, lionized him. Michelle Obama lionized him. In fact, listen now to Marxist Muchel praise Harvey Weinstein as one of the great Americans alive on planet Earth today. Roll it, Brittany.
I want to start by thanking Harvey Weinstein for organizing this amazing day. Harvey. This is possible because of Harvey. He is a wonderful human being, a good friend, and just a powerhouse. And the fact that he and his team took the time to make this happen for all of you should say something, not about me or about this place, but about you. All right? Everybody, we are here because of you.
Yeah. There you go. He was the money man. He was the Hollywood sugar daddy of the Democratic Party. And these are the same Democrats, the same Hollywood liberal actors. By the way, Ben Affleck now apparently is being accused by an actress of groping her as well. This is breaking right now, broke about half an hour ago. The same ones who are going after Trump either engaged in the exact same behavior or knew about Harvey Weinstein, turned a blind eye, and enabled him. People from glass houses shouldn't throw stones. And my question now to the liberals and the feminists is a simple one. When's the march on Hollywood? I'm waiting.
And 1 minute, and if you want to leave, when the guy comes with my
Why
jacket, you can
yesterday you touched my wrist?
Oh, please, I'm sorry. Just come on. I'm used to that.
But
Come on.
are you used to that?
Yes, come in.
No, but I'm not used to that.
1227 here on the great WRKO. Okay, the growing and huge Harvey Weinstein scandal. Let me ask you, do you think this is going to permanently damage Hollywood's reputation, or will it just continue business as usual and people will continue to buy movie tickets? And does this expose the pure hypocrisy of the Hollywood liberal limousine crowd? 617-266-6868. Lines are loaded. Mike in Lowell, you're up next. Go ahead, Mike.
Jeff, last year after Donald Trump was elected president, they had that big women's march
Yes.
in Washington. And
Yes.
Ashley Judd got up there and with anger and vitriol said her speech. So now that we know what we know, isn't it obvious that she was projecting her anger from Harvey to Donald?
Mike, you read my mind. That's what that's what I've been thinking the last couple days, because she was she says that she was victimized by Harvey Weinstein when she was young, that she had to sign a non-disclosure agreement like many of these other Hollywood starlets. And so when I'm seeing her with that rage and that anger and her bizarre behavior.
Let me hear you say, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I think she's thinking Harvey. I mean, she's talking about Trump, but I think really, I mean, I hate to use that word, but I think the tape triggered something in Ashley Judd, because that anger, that deep visceral emotion that was a bit bizarre, now I think I know where it came from. It wasn't Donald Trump. It was Harvey Weinstein. Scott in Worcester. Go ahead, Scott.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Kuhner. You know, this is nothing new with Harvey Weinstein. Let's be honest. Harvey Weinstein is just a part of the Hollywood casting couch tradition. Look at the history of Hollywood. Darryl Zanuck, who owned 20th Century Fox, had sex with his stars. So did Jack Warner of Warner Brothers, Samuel Goldwyn of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. And, you know, Hollywood it's always been a cesspool and a sore and has no ethics and morals, has always been liberal and radical, and Hollywood has always been typically Jewish and unscrupulous. I mean...
Thank you for that. You know, I was waiting for Scott. I kept saying, Jared and I were looking at each other, and I'm going, when's he going to go anti-Semitic on us? When's he going to blame the Jews? And what did it take him? 37 seconds. There it was. Blame the Jews. Tom in New Jersey. Go ahead, Tom.
Hey, Jeff, God bless you, red, white, and blue to you and your family. Hey, Jeff, I suggest we have 3 new national correctional facilities for the sexual predators and the morally depraved, and I got the names for them. The 3 facilities will be named Clinton, Cosby, and Weinstein. Hey, Jeff, and I have a question to the House for all those good, faithful Catholics out there, especially in the Red Devil, morally depraved party. The 60 million abortions haven't shocked your conscience yet. I wonder if Harvey Weinstein and the Democratic predatory party has shocked their conscience yet. What do you think, Jeff?
Tom, thank you for that call.
God bless you.
God bless you, buddy. 617-266-6868. What is it with Democrats? What is it with liberals and raping and sexually assaulting women? You've got Ted Kennedy. You've got Bill Clinton, Bubba, and you've got, let's put it this way, good old big-time Harvey. 617-266-6868. Has the Hollywood left now been exposed for its sheer, pure hypocrisy? I want to hear from you. 617-266-6868. Let's take it to Lori Grandi in the newsroom. 1237 here on the great WRKO. Okay, my friends, so it took her days and days and days. Remember, she was seen campaigning with Harvey Weinstein, repeated fundraisers. Hollywood is a big source of money for the Clintons, for Hillary, for Obama, for the Democrats. And so everybody was waiting. This is the supposed champion of women's rights, the one that allegedly the Russians stole the election from, the one that said, women have to vote for her because she's got to break that final glass ceiling. And she waited. And she waited. And as more people came out, and his wife left him, and more stars came out, and then women came out and saying they were raped, and others said they were groped, and others said they were assaulted. She waited and waited, and then finally released a statement. So listen now from, this is the statement from Hillary Rotten Clinton on Harvey Weinstein. Quote, I was shocked, and appalled by the revelations about Harvey Weinstein. She's shocked. The behavior described by women coming forward cannot be tolerated. Their courage and the support of others is critical in helping to stop this kind of behavior. I don't believe her. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't believe her. She's a liar. If no one else has the guts to say it, I'm going to say it. Really, if I'm not here to speak the truth behind the microphone, honestly, what's the point of me doing this job? Everybody knew. All of Hollywood knew. All the actresses knew. The directors knew. Ben Affleck knew. Matt Damon knew. Judi Dench knew. Meryl Streep knew. Obama knew. Michelle Obama knew. Hillary Clinton knew. Why? Because all of Hollywood knew. In fact, now everybody's coming out and saying it was an open secret in Hollywood. For 30 years, this guy preyed and molested and assaulted women. By the way, just like Bill Clinton. So I want the liberals to really think about this, and especially female liberals. Think about it. The woman that you champion, the woman that you wanted this country to vote for, enabled and turned a blind eye to her own husband, who assaulted women himself and in fact was accused of raping women. And she did the same thing regarding Harvey Weinstein. She doesn't give a damn about women. She doesn't give a damn about women's rights. She doesn't give a damn about justice or equality for women in the workplace. You know what she cares about? One thing and one thing only: power. And the reason why she was so late to respond was because she was hoping this would die down. The same reason why Obama waited so long to respond. Can he ride this out? Come on, it's Harvey Weinstein. He's got pull with NBC News. They kill stories. The New York Times, they kill stories. Harvey would do it again. This time, he couldn't pull it off. And I think the one that's going to be most damaged by all of this, ironically, it should be Hillary Clinton. It should be the Obamas, to be frank. But it's going to be Meryl Streep. Because nobody did more to go after Trump in Hollywood in such a public way than Meryl Streep. And nobody groveled and was more obsequious when it came to good old Harvey than Meryl herself. Listen to her a couple years ago at the Golden Globe Awards. Harvey Weinstein, he's God.
So I just want to thank my agent, Kevin Uvain, and God, Harvey Weinstein.
That's what happens when you sell your soul. I mean, and you look at Harvey Weinstein, I don't care. Look, I'm not much of a looker, okay? So I'm not one to talk. But when you look at him, it's almost like the picture of Dorian Gray, the Oscar Wilde classic. the older you get, your sins, your depravity, your evil nature begins to show on your face. That famous portrait that by the end, the real Dorian Gray, that's the real Dorian Gray. That's Harvey Weinstein. I mean, he just reeks of utter depravity, and you can see it all over him. And so Meryl Streep made a bargain with the devil. Now, I don't know if he ever personally assaulted her or groped her, who knows, but she clearly knew that this man was a savage and an animal. And she didn't just enable him. Look at it. She praised him. She glorified him. They all did. Which gave him even more power and more authority and more prestige. And I want you to think about this. Had this man been stopped 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, how many women would not have been raped? How many women would not have been sexually assaulted? Shame on you. And so now Meryl Streep is selling us a line. You want to talk about smoke and mirrors? Is now claiming, I just didn't know. I know nothing. I mean, everybody knew it. Everybody was talking about it. It was the talk of the town. Everybody's signing all kinds of settlements with the guy. But a person, I didn't know. I know nothing. I know nothing.
I was not here. I did not even get up this morning.
That's Meryl Streep in a nutshell. 617-266-6868. You phony, you fraud, you. Mark in New York. Go ahead, Mark.
Jeff, just 2 points. There was a story about Harvey Weinstein pleasuring himself into a potted plant. If it had been a Venus flytrap, he would have got what he deserved. That's the first thing.
No, I know. I read that story. It was so disgusting, Mark. I'm thinking, what a loser.
Yeah. The guy's insane. But the second thing, and probably more disturbing, is why did Barack Obama let his daughter intern with Harvey Weinstein? I mean, you're the president of the United States. You know everything. You knew who this guy was. You knew all the ins and outs. You were spying on Trump, so you definitely were spying on everybody else. Why did you let your daughter intern with this man? That always bothers me.
Look, I don't know. You know, who knows what's in somebody's heart? Maybe he told him, Harvey, I don't care what you do. You can touch any woman on the planet. You just don't touch my daughter. He could have easily said that to him. Look, you want to know my honest opinion of Obama? I think Obama deep down is a sociopath. This is a man who did nothing when Americans were being dismembered in Benghazi. They were begging for help, and he did nothing. He turned a blind eye. He allowed it to happen. He then covered it up. This is a man, it's all out now in the open, had a secret, covert CIA plan to arm ISIS and Al-Qaeda in Syria, our mortal enemies. So when you look, if a man can stand there like Obama and tell you to your face, you're going to keep your doctor, you're going to keep your health care plan, knowing you're not going to keep your doctor, you're not going to keep your health care plan. If he can do this to your health care, to you and your family, and lie to you in your face like this, to me, you're just a sociopath. You have no conscience. You have no basic morality. You have no sense of right and wrong. So, you know, sending your daughter off to be with this sexual predator, at this point, I'll believe anything. Because that's the kind of man Barack Hussein Obama is. 617-266, he's a narcissist. He's a pathological, clinical narcissist. All he ever cared about, all he ever cares about is himself. Mike in Millbury. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm stunned by this. You know, all I got to say is, you know, Harvey is a strikingly handsome man. And I mean that in a strictly non-sexual manner, Jeff. Not that there's anything wrong with that. And the second thing is Russian collusion. What's with these Russian hookers everywhere? When I was a kid, Russian hookers were like a 300-pound Svetlana on a tractor. Now you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a Russian hooker somewhere.
No, I know. I mean, when I read that piece by Sharon Waxman on The Wrap, right, the former New York Times reporter, and so she goes, well, I tracked this guy down in Italy. I think his name was Riccardo. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, let's just call him Riccardo. She tracks down Riccardo in Italy, and he's on the Miramax books, and he's making $400,000 a year, and he's apparently overseeing Miramax productions in Italy. And she goes, I find out the guy knows literally nothing about movies. Like, nothing. Like, forget production, directing, nothing about movies at all. So she's like, well, what does this guy do? What does he do for his $400,000 a year? And she finds out he's a glorified pimp. So when Harvey at these these movie festivals is going to Italy, I guess, Milan, Venice, Rome, whatever, Harvey's got to get procured Russian call girls. Now, look, I'm against prostitution. I think it's disgusting, exploitative, immoral. But I'm just giving you my honest reaction. I'm reading this and I'm like, you're in Italy. Italian models, frankly, are known for being one of the most attractive, beautiful models in the world. I mean, it's no secret there. You're in Italy. You're not asking for Italian women or call girls. You're asking for Russian women and call girls. I go, ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. You mean you can't go to Moscow and ask for the Russian call girls? You got to get them in Italy, for God's sakes? I swear, these moonbats. 617-266-6868. Jennifer in Arlington. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Hi, Jeff. We are hearing from all the women in Hollywood who succumbed, but think of all the women that said no and didn't have a career. I mean, every field, women are faced with this. You're never going to get rid of all the predators. And yeah, your heart goes out to the people to some extent, but you need integrity as a woman. You can't think you're never going to get propositioned with a price. Integrity has a price, and everyone knows this.
Jennifer, that is a brilliant point. And if you don't mind me asking you, and if it's too personal, please let me know. As a woman, have you ever encountered anything like this in the workforce?
Sure, I've been propositioned. You never know if you'll be punished in your career for saying no.
When you say propositioned, like, is it just a guy, a colleague flirting a little bit, or is it your boss, your superior, wink, wink, I like you, do you like me?
Yeah, your boss starts to, put his hand on you, and you just move away, and then he gets the idea. But that was a decision on my part. No, I'm not going to go there. I don't care what happens.
Good for you. Good for you. God bless you, Jennifer. I really admire women with that kind of dignity and integrity. I think it's sickening, frankly, when men do that, when anybody does that on the workplace, to abuse your power and exploit those beneath you like that. To me, it's beyond immoral and it's beyond disgusting. No, look, let me tell you, I'm up against it, but just a very, very quick story. And this is in a biography. It's no secret. The famous actor Warren Beatty, I guess he's pretty much retired now, but, in his heyday, he was big. It was in the 60s when his career really began to take off. He wanted a part in a movie. And he knew that the director then was gay. Not that it matters, but just you understand why. And so what he did was, he went from his hotel room into where the director was staying. And he just showed up naked, but in a bathrobe. And the director said to Warren Beatty, no, Warren, you don't need to do that. The part's yours. In other words, he was going to take his clothes off and have sex with the director to get the part. And the director's saying, look, no, you're a star. You don't need it. I want you, and I'm not going to have sex with you just for this. What I'm trying to say is people have been laying on their back for decades in Hollywood to get parts. What I admire are the men and the women who say no. I put my self-respect and my integrity before sordid personal gain. 617-266-6868. Because ultimately, at that point, if you sleep with somebody to get a part, you're really nothing more than a whore. Jenna in Brockton. Thanks for holding and welcome, Jenna.
Hey, Jeff. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. By the way, first of all, I just want to say thank you for supporting Jeff Deal for Senate. He's my guy, too.
Oh, I love the guy.
He's fascinating. He's just adorable. There's everything about him that I like. So
He's a class guy. Honestly, Jenna, I know him. Classy guy all the way.
I do, too, actually. I work on his campaign.
I would kill to have him as a brother-in-law. But
Yeah,
let that go,
savage.
Jenna.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to say that. Anyway, in reference to the show and what's going on, I was 16, and I was working for a major grocery store here in Brockton. Can't mention any names, of course, because it's radio. However, I went in there, first day on the job, I had the security guard proposition me. He told me flat out, I think you're beautiful, I'd like to have sex with you.
Oh, my God.
I looked at him and said, he's nuts, and said, get away from me, I got no interest, told him to go away. It went on for the first week of my job, every day. When he came in at 8 o'clock, to do his rounds, hey, guess what? Same story, same speech, he got the same answer, he just couldn't take a hint. The second week, the first day, he said to me, can you do me a favor? And I said, what's that? He said, why don't you bring me a pair of your dirty drawers? I'd like to make a pillow out of them.
Ah. Jenna,
I freaked out.
Did you complain to management, to your superiors?
Oh, yes, I did. I went directly to management that night. I took the manager to the store aside and said, this is what's been going on for the first week. He's disgusting, and now he's gone to a level that I just cannot accept. So you either get rid of him or I leave. Plain and simple.
And what did they do?
They fired him on the spot.
Good for you, Jenna. Jenna, can I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
Okay, maybe the first time, you tell a guy to buzz off, you don't want to destroy the guy's, career, his employment.
Right.
But when he did it the second time and the third time, why didn't you go to management right away and say, look, this guy's out of control, get rid of him?
And honestly, because I was 16 years old, I just kind of said, whatever, just get away from me and assumed that was enough. But, I intended to go to management anyway. After about the fourth time, I said I'd had enough. And then when he came to me and started with this pillow nonsense, I said, that's it. I'm like, I'm gone, I'm done. Somebody's got to go.
Good for you. Jenna, I want to commend you for your courage, your bravery, and your character.
The voice of Boston is you. 680 WRKO Boston, 93.7 WEEI HD2 Lawrence, Boston. It's 1 o'clock.